And now for our next news special report.
Good evening, I'm Gary Franchi, and tonight we're bringing you a story that sounds like it's straight out of the Bible, yet it's unfolding right now in Mexico. Imagine waking up to a sky darkened not by clouds, but by millions of locusts, a nightmare scenario that's become a reality for the residents of Sinanché in the Yucatán region. This isn't just a natural phenomenon, it's a spectacle igniting deep-seated fears and sparking conversations about apocalyptic prophecies. So what does this mean for the people there, and why should we as Americans pay close attention? In our special report, we dive into the heart of this locust invasion, exploring its impact and the broader implications it holds. You don't want to miss my final thought, where I'll tie this extraordinary event back to our core values and what it means for us right here in the United States. So stay with us for a report you simply can't afford to miss. But before we dive any deeper, let me draw a parallel here. Just as this relentless locust swarm in Mexico is devouring everything in its path, there's something else silently gnawing away at our health, excess belly fat. It's a hidden danger, much like these locusts, lurking and causing unseen harm. That's why, like the efforts to combat this natural invasion, many are turning to a remarkable solution for managing belly fat. This significantly formulated substance helps reduce fat storage, accelerates fat breakdown, and boosts metabolism. The parallel is clear. Proactive measures are essential, whether it's tackling a locust invasion or our health. And right now, you can seize this opportunity at trimwithgary.com with a 51% discount while supplies last. Visit trimwithgary.com and take charge today. Now, it was a typical Tuesday afternoon in Sinanché, a quaint town in southwestern Mexico, when something extraordinary happened. The residents, accustomed to the tranquil rhythm of their town, were suddenly confronted with an eerie, almost biblical phenomenon. As they gazed upwards, a seemingly endless cloud of locusts filled the sky, casting a shadow over their land. It wasn't a scene from an ancient scripture. It was happening right here and right now. In the Yucatán state, where Sinanché is nestled, miles-long swarms of locusts have been creating havoc. They're not just passing through, they're consuming everything green in their path. The swarm is so dense and vast that it's almost unfathomable. It's as if nature itself has turned against the very essence of life that it's meant to sustain. Locusts, which are essentially grasshoppers in a swarming phase, are known for their ferocious appetites. But what we're witnessing here is beyond the ordinary. Now, these scenes you can see on the screen are reminiscent of the plagues of ancient times. In the book of Exodus, locusts were one of the 10 plagues sent to Egypt. It's a story known to many, and it's a chilling vision to see something similar unfold in our modern world. Social media and the press in Mexico are abuzz with comparisons and speculations. Is this a sign of the end times, a prophetic warning perhaps? While it's easy to get carried away with such interpretations, the situation in Sinanché calls for a more grounded analysis. Farmers who are directly affected by this phenomenon are facing significant challenges. Their crops, particularly corn, are under siege. This is a critical time for them, and it's in the middle of harvest season. The swarm, though unlikely to cause major losses to the agricultural sector, still poses a significant threat. Some farmers have resorted to using pesticides in a desperate attempt to protect their livelihoods. But the question remains, is this enough to stop the onslaught? And the situation in Sinanché is a stark reminder of the delicate balance of our ecosystem. These locusts, although a natural part of our world, have become a symbol of disruption and chaos. As they devour crops and vegetation, they not only impact the local economy, but also the natural order of things. The sight of locusts invading urban areas, feasting on trees, bushes, and flowers is rather unsettling. By nightfall, as reported by locals, the swarm moves on, but the damage is already done. This isn't the first time Yucatán has faced such a crisis. In 2019, the skies of 12 municipalities were darkened by locusts. Journalists and residents alike were quick to call it an apocalyptic sign. This recurring phenomenon raises important questions about our environmental practices and their consequences. Deforestation is often cited as contributing factors to the increasing frequency and intensity of such plagues. But what's truly alarming is at the speed and spectacle of these swarms and how they operate. A modest 1 square kilometer locust swarm, which is roughly the size of a small park, can consume the same amount of food in a day as about 35,000 people. That's a staggering statistic. It highlights the urgency of the situation and the need for effective intervention. Now, the state government, well aware of the severity of the problem, has activated a monitoring and extermination plan. It's a race against time to contain the swarm and prevent further destruction. The hope is that the locusts will move to more sparsely populated areas where their impact will be less devastating. But this is more than a local issue. It's a wake-up call for all of us. It's a reminder of how interconnected our world is and how a problem in one part can quickly become a global concern. In Mérida, the state capital about 30 miles from Sinanché, the situation is dire. The city, which hasn't seen locust plagues for years, is now overrun with thousands of these insects. Major thoroughfares and neighborhoods are particularly hard hit, disrupting daily life and causing distress among the residents. The visual impact of the invasion is stark. It's a scene straight out of a disaster movie, yet it's very much a reality. And amidst all this chaos, there's a sense of resilience and determination among the people of Sinanché and Mérida. They understand that this is a natural phenomenon, albeit a severe one, and they're doing their best to adapt and respond. The local communities coming together, sharing resources and information, and supporting each other through this crisis. However, it's not just the immediate impact of the locust that's concerning, it's the long-term implications. The disruption to the agricultural sector, the potential for food scarcity, and the economic fallout are all real concerns. The challenge is to find a balance between controlling the locust population and preserving the natural ecosystem. The story of the locust swarm in Mexico is a powerful reminder of our vulnerability in the face of nature's might. It's a call to action for better environmental stewardship and a more sustainable approach to our interactions with the natural world. As we report on the situation, we're reminded of the fragility of our existence and the need for collective responsibility. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. This call to action isn't just about staying informed, it's about being part of a community that values awareness and preparedness. As we wrap up our report on the locust swarm in Mexico, it's crucial to reflect on why this story matters, especially to us as Americans living in a republic built on principles of resilience and preparedness. This natural phenomenon, while occurring miles away, is a stark reminder of the unpredictable challenges our world faces. It's not just about locusts devouring crops in a distant land. It's a metaphor for a larger, unforeseen crisis that can emerge at any time, testing our collective strength and resolve. This incident in Mexico should prompt us to look inward, to assess our readiness for such events, and to reaffirm our commitment to environmental stewardship. It's a call to action for all of us, a reminder that in our interconnected world, a challenge to one is a challenge to all. As Americans, we must stand vigilant, ready to face any adversity with the same spirit and unity and determination that defines our great republic. This report is not just a news story. It's a lesson in humility and preparedness, one that resonates with our core values as a nation. So let's take this opportunity to reinforce our commitment to facing global challenges together with the courage and resolve that are hallmarks of our nation.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.